Scott, the Skip Bayless, and Shannon Sharpe. There are some happy LA fans today.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Yeah, that's what we do. We city
We.
You're an LA guy now?
I do want to say congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers for conquering such a hard road to the championship, as opposed to LeBron's Lakers, who cakewalked to their championship. Hard way, easy way. Way to go, Dodgers.
We were the best team all year.
Oh, were you?
We were the best team all year.
I think the other team in the basement at Staples Center deserved a shot.
I can't even believe you said it with a straight face.
I did.
But you did.
How are we already bringing up the Lakers in this one? Skip,
LA
can we just
Galaxy,
let the Dodgers have their moment? They finally brought an end to their World Series drought last night, winning it all for the first time since 1988. With Rays starter Blake Snell looking unhittable, manager Kevin Cash made a controversial decision to pull him in the 6th inning, which led to a Dodgers rally off the Rays bullpen, and the Dodgers went on to a 3-1 victory. There was a twist in the game, though, when Justin Turner was pulled in the 8th due to a positive COVID test. When he returned to the field for the team photo after the game, some questioned that was the right move. So, Shannon, should the Dodgers have allowed Turner to return for that team photo?
They should have taken it out. The MLB should have taken it out of the Dodgers' hands, because you know the Dodgers were going to allow him to be in that photo, Skip. He had been there. I think he's a 7-year vet with the Dodgers. He's a clubhouse favorite. He's a fan favorite. So they were not going to do the right thing. MLB should have done the right thing. MLB, you didn't come this far just to come this far. Skip, they've canceled games. They've isolated players, and you're supposed to isolate. Turner was wrong. The Dodgers were wrong. MLB were wrong for allowing him to do that. Some things, Skip, this is why you have a commissioner, because the teams will not do the right thing, and you have to have a higher authority to do the right thing. Skip, I know it would be hard. You're talking to a guy that was very fortunate, Skip. I won 3 Super Bowls.
You did.
And I was able.
You went 3 for 3.
3 for 3, Skip.
As opposed to Justin Turner, who went 1 for 3.
1 for 3,
yeah.
Skip. And especially the heartache. They lost to the Astros in a Game 7. If I'm not mistaken, they lost to the they lost also to the Nationals just last year, Skip. So it's hard. I get it, Skip. But the right thing is the right thing under all circumstances, because you're putting people at risk. If I'm not mistaken, the manager, Roberts, is a cancer survivor. He just survived cancer a year or 2 ago, lymphoma. And he's there without even a mask on. If that was the case, Skip, why did
Justin Turner
was? Everybody, Skip, if it was not that big of a deal, why the hell did MLB remove him from the dugout at the 7th inning? Why would they remove him? Why did they do that if it was not a big issue? Only to allow him to come back without a mask and take a picture for the team photo without a mask. If it's not that big of a deal, why go through the lengths that they went through to do it? Dodgers, you're wrong. I get it, Skip. I get it. You want to celebrate, Skip. This is your lifetime. If you play a particular sport, obviously you grew up in a lifetime thinking about what it would be like to play in the World Series, maybe strike somebody out, catch the ball, hit a home run. I get all that. But, Skip, you can't do it in this situation. Do they not? I understand they've been in the bubble. Think about it, Skip. You play in the World Series, and where you're playing, that's not where you're from. That game should have been played right here in Dodger Stadium. And the game should have been played in Tampa. But that's not what they did. The baseball put it in a bubble. Say, we want to minimize.
It was a softball.
So we want to try and minimize the actuality. And baseball was doing good.
They'd gone 57 days without a positive test. That's pretty great.
Only to have it do that. Only, Skip, think about it. You get all the way, and you're like you're 2 steps from the finish line, and then you collapse. That's what baseball did. Baseball, you can't have this. Everything was so great, and you allowed this to happen. Justin Turner, I get it, bruh. As painful as those losses were to the Astros that cheated you out of this, and the Nationals that beat you fair and square, and to have now, we got our moment, but, bro, you can't put people at risk. And baseball removed you for that reason, and then the Dodgers allowed this to happen. Man, if I'm Rob Manfred, I'm coming down with a fine so steep. Oh, yeah, they're going to have to pay for this. This is a $10, $20 million fine right here, Skip. You can't do it. You just can't do it.
I hear you. But allow me to say, if you step back from this, in this year of 2020 that we have all suffered through, didn't it almost have to end this way?
Yeah,
we get all the way to the finish line, and all of a sudden, what?
Yes.
First, they're wondering on the telecast, we're not sure what happened to Justin Turner. He got injured, we think, but we're not sure how, because he just suddenly disappeared. Going into the 8th inning. Then on our post-game show on Fox, Kevin Burkhardt announced he tested positive.
Right.
What? He did? It just had to end this way. But to your point, I had mixed emotions last night when I saw him on the field post-game. He is the leader of this team and has been for a good long while.
Correct.
He grew up in Long Beach, California, which is just south of where we are right now, just south of LAX, the airport here. A huge Dodger fan.
Yes.
He's paid a lot of dues for this organization, for this franchise, and to your point, he is a huge fan favorite. He's almost 36 years of age. He's going to be a free agent. A lot of speculation that he won't be with the Dodgers going forward.
Right. So
I was torn because I wanted him to have his moment. And I'm assuming MLB left it in the Dodgers' hands. It'd go all the way to top, to the owner, to the GM.
Yeah.
You know, somebody's going to have to say no because he's going to say yes because you knew his teammates would say absolutely yes.
Right.
Unfortunately, out on the field at that point were wives and girlfriends and children and friends, and it's a wide open celebration. And what have we learned in the last 4 or 5 months about big celebrations with no mask?
Those are called super spreaders.
Super spreaders. This was the classic super spreading situation. And I sure hope this morning that they don't have a big outbreak because it could lead to a tragedy, as you well know. We've learned all too much, and we still don't know enough about this virus.
And what have we seen over the last 2 weeks, Skip? We're going to from what it was. We're getting 75,000 new infections a day. Hospitalizations are going up. The death toll is rising.
Yeah. So in the end, I'm obviously with you. Somebody needed to say no. Somebody upstairs in the Dodger organization, or to your point, Rob Manfred, who had been on the field for the presentation. He was there for a while. Then this kept on and on as they took the team picture. And to your point, he took his mask off for the team picture because he didn't want to have this for posterity with this weird mask on, right? You just can't do it. And I'm very sorry for everybody involved that he did it. I'm going to knock on wood for everybody involved that they don't have a huge outbreak that'll lead to a real tragedy.
Yes.
And yet, in the end, in a weird way, the manager of the Tampa Bay Rays last night, Kevin Cash, in the 6th inning, made an inconceivable decision that actually helped take baseball off the hook for what could have happened.
Yes.
Because if he doesn't yank his starter, Blake Snell, who is just dominating at that point.
He was electric, I told you.
Just overwhelming the Dodgers. If he doesn't run out of the dugout waving his right hand, saying that's enough after he allowed a 1-out single that wasn't hard hit, so he'd allowed 2 hits, neither of them hard hit balls. If that doesn't happen, and the Dodgers don't come right back and seize the lead, and then with Mookie Betts' homer later, made it 3-1, and that was the final score. If that doesn't happen, if Blake Snell is allowed, dare I say, to actually have a complete game shutout, which it felt like was happening.
Yes.
Poor MLB, and we're all just making it up on the fly here. Now what do? How would they approach to Game 7? I have no idea.
I don't either.
Do you wait 2 days or 3 days, or what do you wait? We kept seeing these postponements earlier in the year, Cardinals, Marlins.
And guess what, Skip? We don't have to worry about contract tracing. We know everybody that's on the Dodgers organization and players were in close contact with Turner.
All too close. So what do you do with Game 7? It would have been right here on Fox.
Man.
I told you my man Walker Buehler from Vanderbilt was positioned to maybe even be the World Series MVP, but when? A week from now?
Exactly.
I don't know. So back to the decision, and before I launch on this, you go on it. I want to hear what you think about just how wrong-headed this was.
Skip, when he pulled him, I text Steve, my researcher, helped me with my stuff, produce on my end. I said, that was the wrong decision. I said, it's going to come back and bite him. I said, because this guy was dealing. And now when they take him out, he's about to face the top of the order. Now, they had seen him twice and had no one even come close to hitting him.
All three had struck out twice. Twice.
Skip.
He was 6-0 with strikeouts.
As great as Mookie Betts is, you can make the case he's the best player in the National League. He's one of the two best players, he and Mike Trout, in all of baseball. Against lefty, he had the worst slugging percentage in the National League. You took this guy out. Skip, he's your ace. I'm riding him. He's only thrown 73 pitches at that point.
Yep.
48 of them have been strikes. Whew. He's going 90 pitches. And see, this is where analytics are starting to ruin baseball, because the analytics says the third time through,